Hi guys, Dumelang. Welcome back to my channel if you are a returning subscriber. If you are new to the channel, then hi, hello. My name is Annah and I am an English teacher in South Korea. So guys, as you can see by the title, I thought that it's important that I talk to you guys about this, that as a person who's sharing information that you guys need to know about coming to teach here in South Korea and things that you need to know, this is another one that you need to know, especially if you are already abroad teaching English, or if you are planning to come here within the next few months or the next intake. Please start planning this aspect of your life.
Every moment tonight, they led me to you. Every single time you look at me, I lose it too. Why don't you come sit next to me, let things happen.
Before we get into the topic, let me tell you what triggered me coming here and sitting in front of the camera. So I'm a part of various social media groups of ESL teachers and specifically groups of South Africans teaching English abroad in the various countries. And in those groups, I've been seeing lately there are posts where people have died abroad, and those ones that I'm referring to are the ones where individuals have died in China, and they are South Africans, English teachers in China. So these families are trying to raise funds to bring the bodies of their loved ones back home. And some of the bills that I'm seeing, it's going to cost 300,000, 400,000 to bring the bodies of their loved ones back home to SA. So then I'm now reading the comments under these posts, and some of the comments are around, why are so many South Africans dying in that country? What's going on? So there's those type of comments. Then there's comments around, this is why I'm not going abroad. Like, I'm afraid, what if this happens to me? Like, I get some money. I'm not going anywhere. Then there are posts around, you guys are out there teaching, having a great time in those countries, but you guys are not taking care of yourself and planning for these type of situations. Why don't you guys have travel insurance for these situations? Why are you not covered? Then there are other posts of people who are saying, guys, please get covered. I'm covered with this insurance company. They cover me for ABCD. And then people are sharing information on that. There was one comment that I read and I was like, Aniti, are you being serious? So the post says, I am currently unemployed, and I'm unemployed and I'm a qualified teacher, but I would not leave here to go there abroad. Look, people are dying. And I thought, are you serious? It doesn't matter where in the world you go, whether you stay in your home country or you go to another country, we're all going to die at some point or another. None of us can cheat death. But knowing this reality, what are we doing about it? So instead of just thinking, Anna, I'm scared, I'm not going anywhere, I'm going to stay home. Instead of that, you should be thinking, okay, this would happen to me regardless of which country I'm in. But the fact that I'm going abroad, or I am abroad, the impact of me passing away will immensely affect my loved ones back home, especially if I do not have a plan in place. Ask yourself, if that were your family or friends, where would they get 400,000, 300,000 to send you back home? Where would they get that money? If you have an emergency fund and you have investments and you've got capital where you've got that amount of money that your family can then use to bring you back home, great. But if you do not have capital and you do not have investments and you do not have savings and emergency funds to cover these type of unexpected situations, what is your plan? And that was me. So reading those posts, I was thinking to myself, Anna, if that had to happen to you right now, what would my family do? They would literally have no options, because I do not have 400,000 worth of savings or 400,000 worth of investments. I don't. Like, I'm trying to get there, like that is the goal to eventually get there. But right now, I do not. So I was like, okay, so what is your plan? So as I'm reading comments and people sharing that they've got cover, I thought, Anna, you need to get cover. That is your only choice right now, is to make sure that you are covered if the unexpected were to happen to you. And that's why I'm sharing this video today, is to say to you, if you are an English teacher abroad right now and you do not have some sort of insurance, some sort of cover that would pay out to help your family cover the expenses of sending you back home, sending your body back home, please get cover. Please. If you've got investments, savings for these type of situations that are to happen, great. But if you do not, please start thinking about your plan for these unexpected situations to help your family out. Because already they will be grieving. And then now to have to deal with a 400,000 rand bill. We all know that there's this reality. So with this knowledge, what are we doing about it? So after seeing those posts, I then started doing my research, contacting various companies, and I'm asking you to do the same. And when you do contact them, ask them questions like, do you cover me even though I am abroad in this country? Do you accept an international death certificate? I mean, there's so many other questions, but please make sure that you ask these things before you sign on any dotted lines. If you are a person who believes that insurance companies, that they are a scam, I say it's a scam until the day you need it. You can pay as little as 200 Rand per month, 300 Rand per month, depending on your circumstances, how much cover you want. Like, it's going to differ from individual to individual. But such a small amount of money to make sure that your family is taken care of, that they don't need to worry about these sort of expenses. Why are we not doing it? Look into things like life cover. Look into things like funeral cover. Let's talk about life cover. If you were to pass, your family will receive some sort of payout that will be able to take care of them after you have passed. Because now while you are abroad, every month you are sending money home that takes care of your family, that's putting your brothers and sisters through school. Which is amazing if you are doing those sort of things. It's amazing that we can do that. But make sure that if the unexpected were to happen, that your family is still taken care of, that your sister or your brother can still go to school and get their matric, their degree. Please. I cannot stress this enough. My heart just went out to these families just reading those posts. Like, and when I thought about what if that were my family going through this, guys, that's the worst thing I can put my family through after making this choice of being abroad. And now being faced with the decision of, do I go back home or do I renew my contract? What is the plan going forwards? Reading those posts made me very fearful. And I was like, Anna, you cannot make this decision based on fear. So let's sort out the fear, which is why I started looking into life covers and things like that. So researching that and getting a plan in place, I feel 100 times better. I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. So I'm not here to tell you that I have all the answers. I don't. And because I don't, if you are abroad and you are covered, or you've got a plan for if these unexpected situations were to happen to you, please do share it down below so we can learn from one another and, you know, try and figure out what works or doesn't work together. So like I said, look into funeral cover, life cover. And if those are things that you are not interested in and you believe they are a scam, I say it's a scam until you need it. But still, if you decide, that's not for me, you're entitled to your own opinion. It's your life. That's okay. Then okay. Are you saving money? Do you have an emergency fund? An emergency fund is so important while you're abroad, or even back home in your own country. Having an emergency fund is important. So if you don't have one, please start one. And if you are coming to Korea, or you've just come to Korea and you haven't started your emergency fund, please do it. EPIC or whichever school you're with, they probably gave you a flight reimbursement when you flew here into South Korea. They gave you flight reimbursement. Take that reimbursement, use it to start your emergency fund. I started my emergency fund with my flight reimbursement because at the time my thinking was, if shit was to hit the fan in this country and I need to get home immediately, now emergency fund, I can go back home. Or if they said native English speakers, we don't want you anymore, leave our country, I had funds to leave the country. Which is why I'm saying that flight reimbursement, that is your ticket back home. Please put that aside. And then every month after that, put money away to grow your emergency fund. It's important that you have an emergency fund. I'll tell you why else an emergency fund is important. The medical insurance that we've got here, especially if you're on the EPIC program, our medical cover, you'll see it says in your contract that there's a portion that you need to pay towards medical insurance here in South Korea. That portion, half of it is paid by your school, and then the other half is paid by you, which will come off your salary. And what this medical insurance is that if you were to go see the doctor or get medication, a portion of that expense will be paid by the medical insurance. You still pay the other portion. So if you were to get really sick and need some proper hospital care, that's not a few thousand rands, it's like proper money that you do not have just laying around. Well, if you have an emergency fund covers you and you're sorted. But if you haven't created an emergency fund for yourself, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? All I'm trying to get across to you guys in this video is to please plan for these unexpected situations, for these emergency situations. Please plan for these. And once you do have a plan, then put together a document explaining to your family and friends what this plan is, who they need to contact, what documentation is needed, passwords, all of these things. Give it to your trusted family or friend so that they know that, hey, if this happens, Anna sent us a plan, this is what we need to do. And you don't have to do exactly what I say. My plan and your plan for our lives are not going to be the same. Do what you think is best for you and your family, but do something. That's all that I wanted to talk to you guys about today. But if you guys are interested in me doing a few more videos around this topic where we talk about the South African Embassy, so if you want to know, Anna, what does the South African Embassy do in these sort of situations, we can talk about that. Bye.